Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Doing something a little different today. Everyone at this point in time has probably ran into a situation where their handy dandy Clorox wipes or, the higher grade up and up wipes are running out on you. And there is literally nowhere that you can go to replace those. Almost all of us have a bottle of bleach laying around that maybe you bought as this was starting just to have. Maybe you found it in your laundry room. Either way, it's going to be pretty handy at this point. You can make your own sanitizing wipes. You can do them paper towels as a disposable wipe, or maybe you have an old hotel pool towel that might have fallen into your suitcase at some point while you're away, and you don't mind cutting it up into a bunch of little pieces to use a more heavy-duty rag to clean with. Either way, they're both going to come in pretty handy for you. The one thing when you're diluting the bleach with the water, it's going to lose its effectiveness after about 24 hours. So I'm probably going to make them both ways. I'll do the standard rags in one jar, and I can literally dump the bleach solution out, and if there's any left that I haven't used, I can keep them in there and dump in new bleach solution every day. And then you have the paper towel method. Obviously, you're not going to use a whole roll of paper towels in a day, but it's still going to be a nice cleaning solution for you. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to read your bleach bottle. I have this germicidal Clorox bleach that I just happened to buy because before all this started, I was walking through a store and they had literal cases of it lining the aisles. And I was like, well, if everyone else is going to buy it, I might as well buy it too. And it tells me that I need about a 1/3 cup of bleach per gallon of water. Now that's going to be a lot for what we need. So you whittle that down and you whittle it down to get something manageable. I've came up with 4 teaspoons as a good measurement for the bleach and 1 quart of water, which if you're looking at your measuring cups, you're like, I don't have a quart. That's okay. It's about 32 ounces on the old Google machine. So let's start mixing some stuff together, shall we? Just make sure you're careful with your bleach because, it is bleach. So if you spill it on yourself, you're going to have some funny spots on your clothes. So once you get your bleach poured in there, just go ahead and give it a nice stir. And we're just purely going to set this aside for right now. And always make sure you just put that cap back on your bleach because like I said, if that spills, you're going to have a little bit of a mess on your hands. So what we're going to do is we're going to reuse our container from our wipes. Our paper towels are just a little bit bigger than that, so we're going to go ahead and cut them in half. That way we can use the other half of those paper towels for another day. I surprisingly don't have a good serrated knife. This is the best I'm going to get. So just kind of ballpark here, middle, and, do your best to not lose a finger. Made a little knife switch, just some tiny serrations on that, but obviously I guess much sharper. Got the job done. A little messier than I thought, and kind of looks like a nice sized TP roll. Kind of wish TP was this big, but anyway, we're going to take one of these rolls and we're just purely going to place it inside of our old wipes container. Once we have that in there, I think it's going to be easier to leave the center of it in there and it'll just get wet and we should be able to pull it out. You're just going to take your bleach solution, like I said, careful not to spill it on yourself or anything. Just pour enough of that in there that everything is going to absorb into those paper towels. You don't want them sopping wet. You don't want a big puddle at the bottom, but you do want enough in there that it absorbs and makes all the towels wet without leaving a puddle at the bottom. Let that soak and you should just purely be able to reach in there, pull this center out. And then pulling from the center, you'll just be able to rip the paper towel like a standard wipe. We'll go ahead and just clean our knives off that we used to cut this with. Don't want to waste a paper towel there. And then I'm assuming most bleach is the same, but you'll just want to check whatever bleach you're using. Maybe you don't have Clorox. Maybe you got, you know, the good stuff, a Target bleach, or you have Austin's bleach. I'm sure they all have their own little quirks. Just make sure you're following the proper guidelines to get that proper level of sanitation and disinfectant that you're looking for. The Clorox is telling me wipe it down, let it air dry for at least 5 minutes, and you should be good to go. But as always, consult with the manufacturer, check those CDC guidelines, and don't take what I'm saying as gospel. Make sure you're protecting yourselves to keep you and your family safe. With the towels, you just be doing the same thing. So for the towels, you know, get one of your finest old whipped cream containers or an old Chinese container. Something that you don't care about or something that you do care about. Whatever you want. And you're just going to do the same thing. Just going to pour that solution in there so everything's wet. You could probably leave a little bit of a puddle with this just to make sure that they are nice and wet. The nice thing about this is, like I said, you have to refresh that bleach every day to make sure it's potent. If you don't use these, you purely just dump it out and freshen your solution every day. The thing with this though, when you use this rag to clean, make sure that once you've cleaned with it, you put it in your washing machine, or you just make sure you clean it out, because if you disinfect with this and then just put it back in there, you can't really guarantee that everything that's you've disinfected on that rag is killed, and you could just be contaminating the rest of your wipe. So hope this helps. Easy to do, effective to do, and most importantly, just helps keep you safe. Thanks guys. See you later.